By the 1970s, a new writer takes over Spider-Man.
A young writer comes on board, a guy named Jerry Conway. He was about 19, 20 years old, and they gave him Spider-Man as the first regular writer on Spider-Man after Stan Lee left.
In effect, I was writing a character who was my age. Stan had been writing the character looking back. I was writing the character looking around. And in fact, the artist that I ended up working with longest on Spider-Man, Ross Andrew, used to come over to my apartment and use my roof as reference material. So what you see, the rooftops that Spider-Man is fighting on and running around are the rooftops in my neighborhood. It was very parallel to my own life, except for the super-heroics.
Conway's most famous story is centered around Peter Parker's girlfriend, Gwen Stacy.
I'd never seen the appeal of Gwen Stacy as a character, and in writing her, I found her to be kind of bland and uninteresting. She was a nice girl who liked Peter and had no basic problems. So I wanted to change the direction of the strip.
And Conway, to his great credit, decided that he wasn't going to just try and repeat the successful prior formulas. He was going to try and advance the character a little. So the Green Goblin has kidnapped Gwen and tosses her off of the Brooklyn Bridge. Peter catches her on his web line, and the result is that she's pulled up short and her neck is broken.
The reaction of the readers was, oh my God, Spidey killed Gwen. He's responsible for her death. Well, no, not really. He made a valiant but failed effort to rescue the woman he loved.
The death of Gwen Stacy is, for many comic book fans of that era, one of the most traumatizing events that occurred in a superhero comic. It goes right to the heart of the heroic project and undermines it in a truly nihilistic way if, in the very attempt to perform heroic action, the hero actually ends up killing the innocent that he's trying to save.
I felt it was appropriate. This is the kind of problem that's going to come up in a superhero's story. Lois Lane is not always going to be caught when she falls off the building. That becomes a cliche. When he came through the other side of the grief, Peter had a better understanding of his own power and limitations. That's an aspect of maturity. And that, I think, was something that was necessary to move him from the constant guilt-ridden teen, trying to make up for his uncle's death, to someone who recognizes that with great power comes great responsibility, but great responsibility doesn't mean you're always going to be successful.